So what is info dumping? Well, info dumping is when an autistic person or a neurodivergent person becomes so fixated, hyperfixated on a subject or on a topic, and they'll learn so much about this topic. It could be anything, and then they want to share it with you. But instead of having a two-way conversation about the topic, because they're so knowledgeable about it, and you probably won't be, they'll just basically just spit out facts. It'll be like opening an encyclopedia and just sort of blowing out all the information, mostly in one go. It will sound pretty much like a monologue, and being talked at, really. And this can be quite difficult to receive when you're on the receiving end of it, especially if you have absolutely no interest in the topic they're talking about. And this happens to me all the time. I am always on the receiving end of this. I am an autistic woman with an autistic husband and an autistic son. And my son will literally all the time info dump. Well, whatever the topic is that he's interested in at that moment, he will then just dump it on me many times a day. And it can be really quite challenging, especially when you're in the middle of doing something else, or you're just tired, or you're just not really interested. But what I have learned is that this info dump is he's not trying to be rude, he's not trying to be boring, he's not trying to be annoying. He's sharing his information. It's a way of showing he loves me and he trusts me, and by sharing this information, he wants me to know what he knows. He wants me to be interested in what he's interested in. So the best thing I can do, and it doesn't always work, just like with any parent to any child, you get tired and you just sort of like, oh, not now. But the best thing to do is listen. And I don't know half the things he's talking about. A lot of the time they're about computer games and things and characters, and I have no idea or interest. But I listen to the best of my ability because I know that he wants to share it with me. He's excited, and he'll tell me at any moment. I could be doing anything. I could be trying to watch a film. I could be on the loo. I could just be walking past his room. Whatever it is, he will just be like, oh, mum, and then just want to tell me these things. So it can be really tiring, and it can be really draining. But the best thing you can do is take an interest. And even if you can't listen now, you can say, right, well, I can't listen to that right now, sweetheart, but I'm going to come back and listen to that later. I want to know all about it. So that's how I deal with that. And also my husband loves to info dump. And he loves to info dump about technical things, like he's super into home studio recording and microphones and all this kind of thing. And he if we're watching a television program, and the person's speaking into a microphone or playing a guitar or, a keyboard, piano or whatever, he'll be like, oh yeah, that's the blah, 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 built in the blah, blah, blah. And that's how, we shouldn't be using that mic because this mic is blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, yawn. But what he has done is he's taken that and he's built a YouTube channel, very successful YouTube channel, where he talks about those things and now teaches, made courses around this information that he retains and that he loves. So there are ways to get it out there that aren't just going to be when you're an older person. Obviously, when you're a kid, it's a bit difficult because you have a limited capacity to share these things. But when you're older, you can expand and use it and become a career, the info dumping. I feel like I do it less, and I don't think that's just because that's me. I wonder if females do info dump less. I'd be really interested to hear any experience from autistic women, because I'm wondering whether because we mask so well, particularly from a young age, that we understand that it's not socially acceptable and girls want to fit in so badly, that maybe we just don't do it as much. I do it, but not in a way that my husband or my son do. My husband's dad is also undiagnosed autistic, and that's a whole other story, but he will just talk at you for so long without any realisation that he's even doing it or being really mega boring. So I'm just wondering, do you think it's more prevalent in males, this info dumping? It's something that's just sort of occurred to me. I'd really love to know. But the takeaway from this is the info dumping is just an autistic person sharing their joy and their love and their interest with you. So it may be really boring to listen to, it may be really frustrating, but they're not trying to be boring or rude or annoying. So take it from whence it comes, try and listen the best you can, perhaps ask them some questions about it, because they'll probably love to tell you more, or if they don't know the answer, to go away and find it out and then come back and tell you, or to, you know, perhaps debate about it. But it is a sign of love and trust that they feel for you. So like I say, take it from whence it comes. It is a joyful thing, even if it can be a little bit boring to be on the receiving end. And let me know if you think females info dump less than males. I'd be really, really interested, because I think they might do, you know. Certainly in my case, I know I info dump a lot less than my husband and my son, and particularly my son. So yeah, let me know your thoughts, and please, if you like all these videos about autism and my autistic experience, please like and subscribe, because it really does mean a lot. Thanks for watching.